This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
So we are still in the studio with Brent Gove, local legend with eXp. He helped grow that company, and he's helped so many people, buyers, sellers, and agents. And one of those people, you were just telling me off the air, a guy out in Folsom. You changed his life.
Yeah,
Am I sharing that story?
Yeah, I was doing an open house up in El Dorado Hills. I bumped into Jesse, Folsom State prison guard, and he's like, God, I'm nervous about buying a home, but I know I should probably buy a home. And and so this is probably 15 years ago, maybe 2011, right at the bottom of the market. Mm-hmm. And so he stepped up, and I sold him a home for no money down. Well, that's bad. No, it's not. Adjustable rate is bad. Keep your money. What you want is a fixed rate for 30 years,
yep.
And you're good to go. So nothing wrong with no money down. It's negative amortization loans, adjustable loans, NIDJA loans. Those can be very bad and very toxic loans. So 30-year fixed is the magic words you want to hear. And so Jesse was nervous, but he bought a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home on a half acre in El Dorado Hills. In 2011 for, I think he paid $315,000 for it.
Wow.
Yep. And the funny thing is, I moved to the Caribbean 4 years ago. I live out in the Caribbean today. I'm semi-retired. I took the Brent Gove team, by the way, and I merged them with Made for More Realty. When you take your babies, the Brent Gove Real Estate Group, which has been running since 1999, and I gave it to John Jennings because I trust John. John's the agent I trust. And he's an awesome guy, and he and his wife, Valerie, love them dearly. In fact, you guys are coming to my home for dinner tonight at 5.
Yes, we are.
Yep. And they had us for Thanksgiving maybe 4 years ago up at Lake Tahoe. You guys rented a little house right on the water. It was cool. They're people we know, like, and trust and love. But so John's, I'm telling you, he's a real deal. But so back to Jesse, the story. I'm in the Caribbean. I bump into him. He's getting off a cruise ship in San Juan, and I saw him, or it might have been St. Thomas. I don't know where it is. And he's like, Brent Gove. And I turn and go, Jesse? I mean, what are the odds of bumping into him in the Caribbean?
So remote.
And I go, how you doing? He's still working for Folsom State? He goes, oh, no, I retired. He goes, I retired because of the one house. He goes, what? He goes, my Folsom State, prison guard pension was decent for sure. He goes, but that home he sold me for $315,000, I went on to become worth $1.3 million. And I was able to sell it and take that money. And it's the main reason I'm able to travel the world today, because I bought one home and you sold it to me. You changed my life. Wow. So I'm telling you, if you're out there right now, buy your first home. My parents owned 2. Now, they had 3 or 4 condos, this, halfplex. They sold all that. They got down to paying off their home and a duplex. Well, the duplex, $2,000 from one side of the duplex, $2,000 from the other side. It's paid off. That's $4,000 a month. They get Social Security. I think they make like $7,000 a month, and their house is paid off. Their cars are paid off. They have no financial worries. They don't earn 22 homes. They own 2. So buy a home, don't sell it. Well, doesn't that hurt John Jennings and you? Yeah, we make money when you sell homes, so maybe that wasn't the best advice for us, but it's the best advice for you. Mm-hmm. I always beg to my clients, never call me back to sell this house. Call me back to buy another house, an investment property or something. But if you can, never sell the house. And yes, that hurts us big time financially, but our fiduciary is to you and your family. And I'm telling you, the only people that have what ifs is what if I didn't sell my home 20 years ago? Yeah. What if I hadn't have sold my home 10 years ago? I would have had this run up in the past 10 years. People who get wealthy retain real estate. They don't buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. It's a fool's errand. Buy and hold. Buy and hold, but it went down. It'll go back up. Real estate's cyclical. It grows, it pulls back. It grows, it pulls back. It grows, it pulls back. And these pullbacks typically are 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and they run for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And look at the history of real estate. I mean, my parents bought their first home for $6,000 in San Diego, right? And then what's a home cost in San Diego now? I mean, I'm telling you, you think $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 is a lot. 20 years from now, like, well, how many did you buy? Did you buy 10 of them? That's such a good deal. 500,000, 600,000. Did you buy 10? Like, man, I was scared to buy one. So don't let fear stop you. Buying a home's the best thing you ever do, and then hold on to it. Get that fixed rate. That's my 2 cents on that topic. Do you have any topics along there, or thoughts or comments?
Yeah. So the first house that I ever bought, it was in Bakersfield. Valerie had never. Valerie was living with her parents, and then she was actually, I think, living with my grandma in Fresno. So she had never I wanted her to live into a home. That was very important to me. As soon as we got married, I wanted her to have a home to live in, but I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to buy a house.
Yeah.
And so I rented a bunch of books from the library. I read about 1,000 pages on how to do it, and I stumbled across this strategy where if you buy a multifamily home, similar to what your parents have with the duplex, so the house I ended up buying had a regular home in Bakersfield. What was it? 2820 Pine Street in Bakersfield.
Oh,
I remember the
nice.
address.
Yep.
So it was this old house built in the 50s, and then behind it had a mother-in-law unit. So it had a detached unit, and I'd always worked for money, right? So I'd been a waiter, a poor waiter. I'd welded. I'd done a bunch of different jobs where I was always working for the money. And then, so we bought the house, moved in. A buddy from church started renting the mother-in-law unit, the back unit from us. And I'll never forget the first time he gave me the rental, the check. It was like $800. It wasn't like a huge sum of money, but I did nothing for it. I just provided him a place to live. It was the equivalent of somebody crashing on your couch.
Right.
And he handed me that $800, and boom, that was the moment my life changed forever, because I realized, this is so powerful. I'm providing a safe, clean place for my buddy to live, and he's paying me, and I don't have to do anything for it. I don't have to go out there and work. Like I was welding in the oil fields. I don't have to weld in the 100-degree heat in order to make this money. He's just paying me, and he's going to do it the next month, and the next month, and the next month, and the next month, and it never stops. And so there are so many ways out there to buy that first property if you are willing to get creative. So the first house we bought was that single-family unit with the mother-in-law in the back. The next property we bought was a triplex. So Valerie and I lived in one unit, rented out the other two. That may not work for every situation, but I guarantee there is a situation out there, there's a strategy that will work for you.
Can I ask you a question about the triplex?
Yeah.
What was the overall payment on the triplex?
Oh, shoot, I don't even remember. It was cash flow positive.
Well, that's my point. So let's say it was $3,000 a month, which would, back when you bought it, like, oh my God, it's all the money in the world.
Yeah.
But let's say you receive, $1,000 a month from each side. So really, that's $2,000. So it's not $3,000; it's $1,000 a month.
Yep.
But now you have an asset that is going to appreciate, and when you move out, it'll pay $3,000 a month. But guess what? Rents do what? How many of you can rent a place for $1,000 a month? No, it's like $2,000 a month. So now it's not $3,000 a month; it's $6,000 a month. But the payment stays at $3,000 a month.
Right.
So, buy a duplex, live in one side, rent out the other. Buy a triplex. There are creative ways to do it. Go talk. It all begins with talking to John Jennings, and he'll put you with JJ Mack, and they'll get you pre-qualified. There's creative ways to do this, you guys. Where there's a will, there's a way. Do you have the heart? Do you have the soul? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired of having a landlord? No, you can't have a dog. No, you can't put in a garden. No, you can't paint the wall. No, you have to live with the nasty carpet, or you have things breaking down. They're not fixing your air conditioning quickly. It's not fair to your family, but you know what? Don't be a victim. Do something about it. Don't play the victim. Move. Buy a house. You could do this. There's ways to get it done.
There are so many ways, and one of my biggest fears for my clients is for them to come to me in 5 years and say, "Okay, I'm ready to buy that first house," and the price that they would have paid if they would have taken the leap now is going to be way, way different.
5 years ago, what did it cost to buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in West Roseville? 5 years ago.
We're probably talking like $150,000 less than it is today, depending on.
So waiting 5 years hurts you. No tax benefits for 5 years. We're
Correct.
not adding in the tax benefits. Lack of appreciation. Interest rates were better then, but they're not good now. I know they're going to change, and you can refi when they're lower. And so get the rate you got to get, and get on with your life. Renting is never the answer.
It's never the answer, and then just begin the process. Reach out to somebody. If you're saying, hey, Brent's and George and Johnny, but I don't know Johnny. If there is somebody you do know, I would prefer for you to reach out to them and just begin the process. Because what's going to happen?
Oh, time out. Johnny's being nice here. Oh, just because you know your niece or your nephew, I said I'm going to use my niece. They don't know anything.
Yeah.
How many of you would seriously? How many of you would take tax advice from a toddler? Like, well, my niece and nephew, they're toddlers. First-year agents are dangerous. And I know some of your first year not appreciate. I'm sorry, I was dangerous. We had no idea we know it. I get it. You got to go through the right way. You don't want to be somebody's purchase on a first year. They could do something wrong that could affect the rest of your life. And people do it all the time with the biggest purchase they'll ever make, a home.
Yeah.
I mean, how often do you spend $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $700,000? Probably never. And you're going to do it with your niece or your nephew or your friend from work or your friend from work's wife who's new. And I know some of you are new and you don't like this advice, but my job is to help them. And you'll get your people who will not listen and they'll pay the dumb tax. Because trust me, that first year I made mistakes and my clients paid for it. How would you like to go to a doctor and he's doing his first LASIK eye surgery and you're his first one? I want the guy who's done it 3,000 times. I don't want to be someone's first open heart patient. I don't want that doctor. And so John's being nice. If you know someone, just call them. I'm telling you right now, John's sold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. He's a top 1%er in the Sacramento area, Northern California. Doesn't matter where you live. Davis, Vacaville, Woodland, Sacramento, Yuba City, Marysville, Stockton, Elk Grove, Tahoe. Call John. I'm telling you right now, call John Jennings and say, we got to talk. John, I'm going to make you do this. What is your phone number? Text him. I want you to send him a text while I'm talking. Grab a pen and a piece of paper. Grab your cell phone. Just put it open your cell phone. Pull over. Don't get in a wreck. But John, what is your cell phone number?
Yeah. You can reach me at 916-888-8755.
So he didn't know I was going to do that. But
I
don't want you just to talk to somebody you know from work's wife or husband. He or she may be great. They may be horrible. And you won't know. You won't know. So it's
916-888-8755.
8755, or look up Made for More, and it's made then the numeral 4 and then More Realty. Google them. You'll find John Jennings out of West Roseville. They sell all over Northern California. If you're in Napa, call them. If you're in San Francisco, San Jose, call them. We can list homes and do our marketing anywhere. We're licensed in the state of California, and he will help you big time. And man, it was great being on the show today. Are we almost done? Or
we are done. No, that's a great note to end it on. Thank you so much for coming all the way out from Puerto Rico to be on the show.
Great to be here, man.
One more reminder, if you want to sell your home in 2025, Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team at Made for More Realty can get you at least 3 cash offers on your home in as-is condition. No stagings, no showings, no costly home repairs. Just Google Johnny Jennings and the Tom Daves team at Made for More Realty and get more for your home.